This conference will now be recorded.
Had me running a touch late, so I apologize, but I will try to make it.
Good morning, Pascal.
Oh, good morning, sir. How are you?
Okay, yourself?
Awesome. It's a good day. It's a really good day. I am going to set this up so that for the people that are on the computer, we'll be able to see my screen because I'm going to show you guys my Experian and my credit check total. I don't know why, but whatever. Because I want you guys to see the difference between, because I have so many people that go to Credit Check Total. I'm sorry, not Credit Check Total, but Credit Karma, and they think that that's doing something for them. Credit Karma is really good, actually, for just keeping you abreast of what's going on. But it's, as far as getting your accurate scoring, it's not the best thing. So I'm going to show the difference between my Credit Karma and my Experian. Plus, there's some new benefits to do with Experian that I think are going to be very important for everybody to take advantage of. And it's not just Experian that's doing this boost thing, but the other Experian is the one who started it, and the other credit bureaus are also doing it. I think TransUnion is doing it as well. And so just give me a moment for the screen to show up. And it says it's waiting on screen. So I just want to make sure I can get this to happen properly. Let me see if I go to my Credit Karma, if it'll pop up the screen. So I hope everyone is doing okay. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna. For some reason, there's a delay in showing the screen for whatever reason. I have no clue. So I don't want to keep on messing with this thing over and over and over again. So let's see here. All right, I think I got it now. So anyways, I'm in my Credit Karma, which the people that are just on the phone can't see it. But so the reason I run both Credit Karma and Experian is because it's not for the points. That's for sure. It's definitely not for the points, because if you're able to see the screen on my Credit Karma right now, you'll see that on Credit Karma, my TransUnion is running at an 809, and my Equifax is running at a 757. And so just a week or so ago, they were both in the 800 range, right? And so Credit Karma they have a tendency of being way off track, right? And that's why I really don't utilize Credit Karma for the whole, point thing. But I use Credit Karma for other things. So Credit Karma is really, really good for giving you ideas. They have a wealth of information on their website. So if you go to Credit Karma and you want to find out what cards might possibly be good for you, Credit Karma, will give you an awesome suggestions on cards that will work for you, and as a review of your credit, right? And that's hugely, hugely important as we're going through the process of building and developing our overall credit file. We need to go to, and it's free. That's another thing it's cool as hell. It's free, right? So you can go to Credit Karma, and let's say that you wanted to, like in my instance, I'm clicking on personal loans, and Credit Karma, that's why I keep on telling everybody, there's no magic to this crap. If you go to, sites like Credit Karma, they're going to get a little money on the back end. And because they're going to get a little money on the back end, they are going to try to give you places that are workable, right? Because that's how they're going to make their money. I'm trying to get my little thingy out of the way. So they're gonna give you offers, right? Within a multitude of different places that will potentially work for you, because they obviously can't, guarantee it. But Credit Karma will even go as far as saying, "Oh, you have a great chance, an excellent chance, a good chance, whatever the case may be." And that's what we need, right? We need someone who predetermines, obviously with algorithms and systems that we don't have, that predetermines what is probably going to work for us, because we don't want to run around and get a bunch of inquiries all over the place. So Credit Karma is awesome. I don't use it for the scores. I can't say that enough, but I do utilize Credit Karma, even for my clients. If I want to try to figure out a loan that's going to work for my clients, why would I, like rack my brain trying to find a place that possibly would suit them, when I can utilize a system like Credit Karma, who, obviously has more detailed information on the algorithms of what these companies are looking for than I could ever have, right? Me as an individual could ever have. So as opposed to me going out and trying to create this false BS filled information package, I can just, hey, do you have Credit Karma, to my clients? And quite frankly, most of them do. And the ones that don't might have Credit Sesame or one of the other ones, Quizzle or something like that. And if they have, Credit Karma, Quizzle, Credit Sesame, one of these places, well, the magic of that is that, what they give you their login, you can look with them or for them and see what's going on, if you want to do it, for them, if you want to try to have this air of I know all this crap, then you can just, go on and look and kind of just see what places like Credit Karma are talking about, which is literally the most awesome thing you could do, right? It's ridiculous. It gives you the ability to know who's giving out loans, or potential of knowing who's giving out loans. You can even put in the amount, right? And that's really, really crazy. You can put in the amount. It asks you, how much do you need? It says up to $50,000. It says that at the top of the Credit Karma, like if you go and you're looking for personal loans, it tells you that right at the top. So you can find for your specific credit. This is really important, because my credit position. So as we went over earlier, according to Credit Karma, they're saying I have an 801 FICO score in one arena and a 759 in another arena, right? And the thing is, so like let's say if a person says, well, my credit score is a 680, well then Credit Karma, with their vast, literally vast network, okay, then Credit Karma is going to find something, a credit card or a lender that would suit you best. And they will even, subsequently tell you, oh, well, this right here, this might work for you, because you remember, you've given them access to your file overall, and so, they're able to look, see your payment history, see all that stuff, run their algorithm and find the best match for you. So it's not like you got to pay a guru to do all this stuff for you. Utilize all these free services like Credit Karma. It's awesome. think about that. There's this, $100 million company, if not $1 billion company that's out there, Credit Karma, that will, work as for free, mind you, work as your guide to, excuse me, as your guide to where to go to apply for credit, be it, credit cards, personal loans, even business loans. I mean, the Credit Karma encompasses all that for you, and they will look at your credit file and subsequently give you what they believe, and they will even tell you, what you have the greatest opportunity of receiving. And so you gotta just, think about all these different free services that are available to us, and make these free services work for you, right? And that's it. But once again, I don't use Credit Karma for their, for the scoring, because the scoring is way off. The scoring can be off as much as, I have literally seen the scoring off as much as like 80 plus points. The difference between what my Experian is showing and what my Credit Karma is showing, right? And so that's obviously not a good look. Now I'm going to go over into my Experian credit file, and so I'm in my Experian credit file. For those of you who can see it, cool, and then those of you can't, that you're just calling in on the phone, sorry about that, but I'll try to do my best to give you an overview of what's on here. So the thing that I like about the Experian deal is that obviously you're going to get a more accurate understanding of what your file is looking like overall. So right now I'm looking at Experian and my Experian, and it's saying that my Experian file, I have a FICO score for Experian of 729, and I have to look into what the other two are ranking in at, but they're probably in the same area. So I've had some inquiries as of late on my credit file, and so therefore, I'm going to take a hit, but no big deal, right? As long as I make my payments in a timely fashion, it really doesn't matter if I take a hit when these new loans come on board, because here's the way it typically tends to work. Now I say typically because, quite frankly, there is no hard and fast rules, right? We find that some people, like let's say if we take a client and we add a My Jewelers Club, which is something that we do for a lot of people, we'll add My Jewelers Club to their credit file. Some individuals, even though all things look similar, right? Some individuals will, within 30 to 60 days, get this huge 40 to 60 point rise in their credit file. And then I have found other, huge meaning, 30 to 60 points. And then I've had other individuals that, for whatever reason, I have no understanding why, to be honest with you, they just don't get it. They just won't get that same boost in their credit file. They're going to get something that's going to happen, but it just doesn't happen in that same 30 to 60 day time frame. Now I've seen people, as we're working with them with their credit overall, I have seen them, subsequently get that boost, right? But it takes, it might take them 3, 4, 5 months, so there's something that's going on that's underlining, their credit, even though everything on the surface looks right, but there's something that's going on. And quite honestly, there's no way for me to know what that something is. The client would probably know, but, it's either in the back of their mind or they've completely forgotten, or they don't care to let me know. It could be a world of different things that is that underlying thing why they're not getting that boost in credit. For some people, it's things that they know that are going to show up on their file that just hasn't shown yet. Things like child support is a huge one. It'll affect your file greatly. So let me get back to this. With Experian, you're going to see that the credit that they're saying, the difference between what your FICO score is and what Credit Karma will say is your scoring, right, is way different. And, that's why I utilize Credit Karma for the things I mentioned to you earlier. But with Experian, I want my raw score. I want to know what's going on with my credit file, and that's why I use Experian, amongst other reasons. So one of the new things that I'm really happy, and I want everybody on this call to start participating in, is Experian Boost, and apparently TransUnion has their own version of the Boost, right? This is a must for everybody that's listening to this phone call. You should sign up with Experian, and the reason being is because Experian now is going to give you credit for things like paying your cell phone bill every month, paying your internet, paying your electric bill, paying your water bill. So if you're paying out of a checking account or a savings account, that Experian that you're going to give them that information, right? And then they're automatically going to go into your account and they're going to run through your past statements, your current and your past statements, and anything that they can find that matches up. So if you're paying your cell phone bill, why would you not get credit for that? That's a huge amount of points that you can start adding to your credit file on a bill that you're paying every month in and out, regardless to anything else in your existence. Almost everybody pays their cell phone bill. And so now we're able to get credit for that. And I think that is ridiculously awesome. Rarely does someone not pay their electric bill, right? I mean, you have to be going through some really hard times, which does happen. But as a rule of thumb, if you don't pay anything else, you're going to pay your electric bill. And that's a fact, right? So if you're going to pay your electric bill and you're going to pay your water bill, then you can now get credit for those things. I mean, that's the most awesome thing to come along as far as credit enhancement and credit development in a very, very, very long time. So once again, internet, you're paying that anyway because you're watching all this TV like me, okay? Internet, boom. They will now give you credit for that. Your cell phone bill, right? They will now give you credit for that. Your electric bill, they will now give you credit for that. Your water bill, they will now give you credit for that. And I think there's one or two other things. So the point is, if you're paying that out of an account every month, like clockwork, why not start getting the points for it? Why not start developing your credit file? I mean, in my opinion, it's a lot better and a lot smarter than going out and just to build your credit file, you go out and create debt somewhere that you don't need, right? Because that's why I've created a lot of debt over time for myself and for my clients, because it's all about, building and establishing our overall credit file. And so in order to build and establish our overall credit file, often, it entails having to create debt. But now Experian and TransUnion are giving you the ability to do that on things that you do on a regular basis. So if you already have an Experian, the Experian program, right, the credit monitoring service, then you really need to look into the Boost. And I think it's going to serve you well. All you have to do is just go under Reports or under Overview, Nope, I'm sorry, it's not under overview. It's going to be under reports and score, and you'll see the Experian Boost tab, and you just click on that and just go through the process. I mean, this is really, really top-notch stuff that everybody should be taking advantage of because it's free. Everybody should have a Credit Karma account because it's free. And it will give you the ability, for Credit Karma, they do a wonderful job in finding places that will fit you for loans and that type of thing, and for credit cards. And if you, just Google business credit cards, Credit Karma, you can even come up with that as well. So hopefully you guys are getting my point. It's just, this is awesome to be able to do for yourself. Does anybody have any questions yet? I know everybody usually, likes to sit back and just listen to me talk, but what's going to end up happening is if people don't start asking questions.
I have a question, Pascal.
Go ahead.
Okay. Do you know if, let's say, for instance, like you say, you pay on the phone, you pay the electricity, and you didn't take advantage of what you mentioned to you, what you just mentioned. My question is, okay, let's say, for instance, you start today. Will they take into consideration your past record, or is going to start today when they're going to start reporting your credit?
You know what? To be perfectly frank, I don't know. I know that their system, when I signed up with it, I know that their system went in, because I signed up with it using not my personal account, but my business account. And when I did that, somebody, whoever just came on the call, you're making a lot of noise. If you could stop making all that noise, it'd be awesome. So anyways, I know that when I signed up with the Experian Boost, I gave my business account because I just wanted to see what was going to happen. And from the way I gathered, they ran through all of my stuff. So not just current, but past history, I'd say, because I'm having brain fade, and to see if they can find anything to do with my cell phone bill, my electric bill, my internet, all that other stuff, so that they can start giving me credit for it. So the answer to your question is, honestly, I don't know, but I believe that they start from as far back as they can find. So if that is a concern, because let's say that there might be some issues in the past, I would probably, just contact Experian customer service and just find out. Or, the other alternative is just creating another account that you're going to just pay all your bills out of. And that way you can start fresh, right? Because they only have the information that you give them. And so that way you'll be able to start fresh and have this specific account that you're going to shove money into every month, a specific checking account, just to pay your internet, your lights, your water, and your cell phone bill. That way, you get the subsequent credit for it, on showing up on your credit file. Hopefully that answers your question without being too long-winded.
No, it's fine.
Okay. Thanks. Cool. But I think that's a good look, actually. The more I think about it, why not have another account that you put your bill money in, and even, knowing that, hey, I'm going to put my bill money in this account and just do automatic, like for your internet, you can set up automatic deduction for it at a specific time, preferably, days before. That way there's no confusion, days before it's actually due. And that might be a very workable thing for you to do. So it's just a suggestion. But however you can do it, I think the Experian Boost is going to be good for everybody, because I just can't stress this enough. there's no reason not to get the credit that you deserve, the points that you deserve for making these payments month in and month out. So that's my very strong opinion. Anybody else have a question before I move forward? Okay. So what's going to end up happening is, as I was talking about earlier, is that if, because we get a fair amount of people that come on the calls, and people are shy for whatever reason, and they don't like to talk or what have you, and I get that. But for me to make it worth my while, if I don't start getting questions, then I'm going to start limiting this call to people that are going to pay me and show some interest and have an investment in this. I mean, I'm literally trying to, I do this for free, and I do it not for me, obviously, because I already have this information. Plus, I'm constantly buying information and trying to get tutelage from people that know, so much more than I do, right? And so I can literally not do these calls and be perfectly fine. So just FYI, because I have plenty of things on my plate. So if people don't start participating, then, it just doesn't make it worth my while, because my objective is to help you individuals, do better. It just like the people I work with, I hope that they're there to help me. So I just can't stress that enough. If people don't start asking questions, I can just keep my information to myself and go on with my day. All right? So that's that. And so we'll know if anybody have any questions? Not even in the chat? Okay. So, anywho, I'm just going to recap before I move on. Okay, hold on 1 second. Somebody finally put something in the chat. Okay, somebody was explaining that, in effect, that they're at work, and so they're listening in while at work, and so therefore can't talk, and that's very reasonable. I get that. So yeah, I get it. And for that individual, what I'm going to say is that I will probably only for those people that go to PowerMondayMastermind.com, because instead of sending out the emails to my broad list, I'm going to start sending out the emails just to people on my Power Monday Mastermind list, right? And so for those of you who want to continue having me teach and train, and I'm also learning from you all as well, then I would suggest you go to Power Monday Masterminds and make sure that you're signed up on there, because once again, as opposed to sending this information out, the call schedules out to my broader list. If you're not on my Power Monday Mastermind, then you're just not going to get the, I just won't send out the information to you all. So just do that, Power Monday Mastermind, PowerMondaysMastermind.com. And I will put it up on the screen so that you all can see it. Give me 1 second, please. All right, so once again, it's Power Mondays Mastermind. All right, so PowerMondaysMastermind, Power Mondays Mastermind. So now we're gonna move on, and I just want to reiterate a few things. Everybody, get a Credit Karma account if you need to find, because they have a wealth of information on the loans that would probably work best for you, and they will even rate it. Credit cards that will work best for you, and they will even rate them for you. There's no guarantee, obviously, but they're going to utilize their very expansive and system to try to find something that's going to work for you, because Credit Karma as an entity is going to get a kickback if you go through their link to get a credit card or get a loan. Oh, you know what? There's something else I want to tell you guys about. And this is really, really important, actually. You can do this without Credit Karma, but Credit Karma is actually an easier way to do this. So, for instance, my wife, her uncle passed, a couple of years back. Her mother passed, and also in addition to that, her grandmother passed. And whether you know it or not, so this has been around like forever. And there's a website, and I can't think of the actual website, but it's just about finding lost money. But Credit Karma has that website built into their website, right? And so you can literally go to Credit Karma and punch in a relative's name and see how much money is owing out there. You can even punch in your own name. So like I used it and punched in one of my brother's names, and he had like I want to say like $4,000 or something that was sitting in the state of California's kitty for him. And I told him about it. I don't know if he actually did anything with it, but for my wife's mother, it's something like, I want to say like $8,000 or something. And so she had to get the birth certificate. Basically she had to show that that's her mom. And when so what did she require? She had to send in her license, her mother's birth certificate, and some other documentation that she got notarized, I believe. And she sent that to the Secretary of State, I believe. But anyways, all the instructions are right there. So that's like $8,000 that, it's been like, I don't know how long, like close to a year or something, I'm just going to say. But dude, that's $8,000 that whenever it comes, right? That's like just ding ding, you know what I mean? You just got like $8,000 out of the blue. And like for my brother, his approximately $4,000. I mean, if whatever, if he chose to go after that, and for, I don't know, like a couple of hours out of your day or something to get your, like for my brother, it's him. So all he would have to do probably is submit his, a copy of his driver's license and social or something, and notarize the little documentation that they give you to pull down. And it works for every state in the union, because what happens, I know this is kind of off subject, but this is important. What happens is, anywhere in the United States, like let's say there's money that an institution can't find you to refund to you, they have to turn that money over to the state. So, like let's say if there was a bank account or something, as an example, because there's like a ton of different ways, a bank account, an insurance payment, an insurance payout that didn't, all these monies have to be turned over to the state. And so when these monies are turned over to the state, so if you have a deceased relative or something, let's say that you have a deceased relative and you weren't even close to them, but they're true enough, are your relative, and they have property or something like that. Well, all that stuff, that goes to the state. So you have the right to claim that money, because you are an heir, you are, a family member. You have to get some documentation together, like my wife had to do. But just imagine I forgot, just in the lottery alone, it's like, I want to say it's like $1 billion or something of unclaimed money in the lottery alone. I mean, there's hundreds of billions of dollars of unclaimed money throughout the country, and that just amazes me, right? And so, especially when there are avenues of being able to get this money, and so the website works in Canada as well as in the United States. So I'm just saying, you guys, I know it's off topic a little bit, but I think it might be a good thing. Put your own name in there and see what you get. There's an actual website you can go to on Credit Karma. It's free. I found out about that, I don't know how long ago, and I read it out of a Kevin Trudeau book, right? Money Secrets They Don't Want You to Know About, or something like that. Awesome book, by the way. And there's also, like, for a lot of people, I'll give you an example, one more example on this topic. On a car that I bought for my wife for Valentine's Day, 2015. We subsequently, when we bought the car, we got Gap insurance, right? And this is the craziest crap, I'm going to tell you. So when we bought the car, we bought the Gap insurance. And, I like to refinance vehicles after a period of time, especially, if the interest rate's a bit high, you refinance it. You can, like in our case, we cut the payment in less than half, right? And once cutting the payment less than half, we went after the Gap insurance. And the funny thing is, you have to go through the dealer to get, to do the Gap insurance thing. Well, called up the dealer, asked them about the Gap insurance, and they tried to talk it down. Okay, well, you can go through it. You can do the paperwork. You can this, you can that. But it's really, it's never that much money. But if you want to, go through the hassle, no problem, right? So they were trying to talk it down because, they wanted to keep that money, right? But long story short, my wife went through the rigmarole, and that was a $2,500 check that she got from Moss Motors in San Bernardino. All right, $2,400 or $2,500, and the guy, the finance manager, was trying to talk it down like it was no big deal. It's like, it's never that much money, and we got to do all this calculation for you. We got to, all this crap, right? And I'm so glad, that we pursued that, because once again, that was $2,400, $2,500 that was our money. Why should they keep it? Why should someone else keep our money? You guys getting this stuff? So there's all these different things that are free to us that we should be doing. If you're not signed up with Credit Karma, sign up with Credit Karma. Punch in your stuff. See what type of loans are out there available for you, right? Don't use Credit Karma scoring because it's garbage. But all the other services that they have are awesome, right? They have a wealth of other services that they offer that, quite frankly, are free. And, it's just a good look. They will use their very powerful system to calculate everything, see where you're at, and they will let you know in levels what credit cards are good for you, what loan, in their opinion, are what good for you, or what are good for you. The same thing for personal loans. So if you go, my credit's not the greatest, I need to find the potential of being able to get financing from somewhere because I have something I need to take care of. You know what? Excuse me. They have a slew of places that they know about. I mean, because they're in that business, right? I mean, they know about more places than I can even imagine to know about. Obviously I'm in the business, but not like them. And so therefore, it's a good resource, and it's a free resource to you. So Credit Karma, obviously for a lot of reasons, is a place that you should be signed up with and utilize their free service. All you have to do is when you sign up, and then just scroll down to the very bottom of the home page, once you, or any page, quite frankly, and you'll have all these different things that are in the with the black background at the very bottom, and it'll just tell you, breast credit cards, credit cards for limited credit. I mean, it's telling you point blank. Credit cards for poor credit, credit cards for good credit, personal loans, auto insurance, credit and finance articles. That's another thing. Credit Karma, I get little emails from them periodically. Awesome information that I can subsequently utilize for my clients, right? So a wealth of information. And, just a bunch of stuff. So sign up with Credit Karma, please. It will do you some good. Do not worry about what their credit scores are telling you, because their credit scores are garbage, right? But, it's a good look. And let me sign in again with Experian. I'm kind of got off on a tangent, and I apologize, but I do believe it's good stuff, okay? I think it's beneficial to you. Let's see. I'm sorry. Somebody sent a thing that says Oh, and that's another thing. Just FYI for everybody, you can find these videos, these Power Monday Mastermind videos. I'm not really, I don't really spend the time trying to get everything set up and email it out to everybody. So quite frankly, you can just go to YouTube, and all the videos, or at least all the recorded videos that we've done thus far are on YouTube. So I think there's maybe 13 of them that we've recorded thus far, and then including today's video, which will be 14. You'll be able to find it. You can just look up Power Monday Mastermind and Power Monday Mastermind, and you'll find the videos, and you can just watch them at your leisure. Okay. And so back to Experian. Experian, once again, I just can't express to you all, I'm in the business of helping people build and develop their credit, right? That's my business. That is one of the things I do, and I enjoy helping people build and establish their credit. But I got to tell you point blank that one of the ways, like when somebody comes to us for credit repair, one of the first things we do is we have them sign up with Experian Credit Monitoring, right? And the reason we do that is because when they sign up with Experian Credit Monitoring, I can literally go to reports, right? Either myself or Joy will go to reports. And when you're in reports, and let's say you run the credit report for the first time, you can go to the bottom of their credit report. And when you go to the bottom of that credit report, what it will do for you is give you everything you need to explain to that client, right? So, it just makes zero sense to constantly try to reinvent the wheel. I'm telling you what I do as a business person in this business is I utilize these services because it makes sense. And you as an individual should be utilizing these services as well, right? I mean, there are wealth. If you want to build your credit, it does not take a rocket science to do it. You can literally, like if you go to Experian, for instance, and you go to the bottom of a person's credit score, in this particular instance, we're talking about your own. If you go to the bottom of that, it will literally break down what you need to do to make your credit score look good. It literally tells you what you need to do to make your credit file look right. It will tell you, everything about your credit file. And that's all we do. We just turn around and regurgitate that information to our client base, right? So I'm just telling you guys, don't, when you pay somebody like myself, obviously you're going to get so much more than that, right? I mean, I'm not going to, because it's true, but I'm saying if you don't have the money to pay me, there's so much that you could do for yourself. There's just like a wealth of things that you can do for yourself that you can at least start building your credit up, at least get yourself where you need to be. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist, I should say, to make this crap happen. It's just a matter of you saying, this is what I'm going to do, and then subsequently doing it. Free resources galore, right? And the resources you have to pay for, like the Experian credit monitoring, are you kidding me? It's worth the money. It's worth the 20 some odd, I don't know what it is, $20 some odd a month. It's worth every dime of it, because it will literally tell you exactly, what you need to do to make your credit file look like they want it to look, right? It will tell you what your utilization is. It'll tell you, not only what your utilization is, it will give you tips and advice on how to make it look better. So like if you have what's referred to as a thin file, then they will literally tell you, right? They will literally tell you have a thin file, meaning that you don't have enough credit on there, and you can then utilize either, Experian or go back to Credit Karma and find credit grantors that will work for you to help you subsequently build your file and make your file look right. Does that make sense? And so they're telling you, oh, look, dude, you got a thin file, so we think that you need to add at least 3 more credit lines. Oh, by the way, your credit utilization is not what we like it to be, right? So meaning that they're telling you, we see that you have, 3 credit cards, but nothing else. Well, they want you to have a mixture of stuff. So they want you to have, maybe you have a store card, maybe you have, a loan, maybe you have this, maybe you have that. They want you to have, different parts of the credit pie. Do you have an auto loan showing up? Do you have a store card showing up? Do you have a credit card or 2 showing up? Do you have a personal loan? All these different things. They want to see that, and they will tell you exactly what you should do. And then we subsequently turn around and relay that information to our clients. That's it. There's no magic. None. Zero. Right? There are things that I know and we know as a team, if you will, the people I work with, meaning like people like Joy, that we know because we're researching this crap all the time. But overall, without us, you can do so much to elevate your credit score. And, people come to me and they go, well, Pascal, I have all these negatives on my credit file. And the first thing I tell them is, okay, well, look, while you're working on the negatives, I'm going to tell you something that's even more important. Start going out and getting new credit. And they're like, well, how am I going to get credit when my credit score is crap, right? And so what I tell them is, the same places that I mention all the time is that you need to go after places like My Jewelers Club, and there's a list of other places, Ox Funding, and so on and so forth. They don't care what your credit looks like, right? Open Sky Credit Card, they don't care what your credit looks like. Open Sky, they report to all 3 credit bureaus. Self Lender reports to all 3 credit bureaus. There's a wealth of places, and it literally does not matter what your credit looks like. They will give you credit, and subsequently that positive credit that you're going to make sure you're making good payments on is going to start rebuilding your credit file. And then as you slowly start working on removing the other stuff, then your credit file is going to go up immensely. Because the way it works is, in short, credit, negative debt, as it gets older, it has less and less effect on your credit score. Okay? So let's say you have a charge-off. When that charge-off first hits your credit score, you might lose 50 points, hypothetically. You lose 50 points. Well, when you lose that 50 points, obviously you might have a 700 FICO score, and it's going to drop to 650. Boom, because of that one derogatory. Well, 2 years from now, if you're doing everything right, even let's say 6 months, you have 4 or 5 new credit lines that you're making good positive payments on, and now that derogatory that hit you is 6 months old. So instead of 50 points, it might be 45 points that it's hitting you. But on the other side of the coin, you have 4 or 5 different things like self-lender, Open Sky credit card, Ox funding, My Jewelers Club, and whatever else. You have these different things that are on there that are reporting positive credit history month in, month out, right over that 6-month span. And so you're going to start getting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 points here and there for these positive payments that you're making over that 6-month span. And so that 50-point loss that you had starts being eaten away, right? And so it's 6 months old, so maybe now it's only like 45 points as opposed to a 50-point hit against you. So think about that. You've gained from the positive payments, let's call it 20 points, 30 points, right? I'm going to call it 25 points. How's that for easy? You gain 25 points, 5 different entities that you're making payments to in a positive fashion, month in, month out, and whenever possible you're making your payments early. You've gained 25 points over that 6 months. Now you have the 5 points, right, that have been taken away from that 50-point hit in the beginning, meaning that now you have 30 points. And so as opposed to a 650 FICO score, now you're back to 680. And that will continue, right? So you see how that's working for you? You're even if you have not tried to remove, not near a derogatory, as those derogatories get older and you're reproving yourself with positive credit payments, you are rebuilding and, quite frankly, rebranding yourself with the credit bureaus, right? And so you can start telling your story in a different way. Oh no, you know what? Yeah, that happened. It was a glitch. It happened, but that's not my norm, right? It happened that negative hit my file. It happened because I went through a bad period of time, right? Your story starts to change. The scenario of your story. You're not just a deadbeat that's not paying debts. Right? You hit a bad spot. You're retelling your credit story. And that's our objective. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're trying to accomplish, is to retell our story if we have bad credit. And then subsequently start removing the derogatories as well. So I hope that the information that you guys are getting is not just, resting on deaf ears, if you will, right? I'm hoping that you take this information and that you actually utilize it for yourself. And so we're going to do several things, the people on this call. We're going to set up a Credit Karma if we're not already, okay? We're going to periodically, I know it's a lot because everybody has lives that they're leading, but, periodically log into Credit Karma and read some of their information. See what they're talking about. Because they have a wealth of information for helping you improve your credit file, okay? Then we're going to create an Experian account, Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. My preference is Experian. Okay, so we're going to create this Experian account, and we're going to, with this Experian credit file, a credit account, we're going to sign up. We're going to either create a specific checking account that we're going to start paying all of our bills out of, or if we already have one that we've made good payments out of, for our phone bill, lights, gas, water, internet. If we have an account that we've been making payments out of for the last whatever length of time, then we're going to sign that account up. Either way, whether it's a new account that you're going to start utilizing for bills, or it's one that you've already been using for your bills and you pay them on a timely fashion, you're going to sign up with Experian Boost, and you're subsequently going to start getting the credit you deserve from these things that you in this day and age have to pay anyway, month in and month out. And I'm telling you, by doing this, it's going to push you into the sevens, if not the high sevens, or the very high sevens, right? Doing these things are going to push you, very rapidly. It's going to increase your score. So then, even with credit Experian, if you're under reports, you can just go to at your credit summary, and even there, they will tell you what the recommended loans are for you. So it just both of them are trying to give you avenues, and the magic of that is, once again, is that, I'm sorry, hold on one second. Somebody sent me a little note. Says, can you retype the website for Power Monday Mastermind? Sure. Let me just let these individuals know this real quick. You can simply go to POWERMONDAYSTERMIND.com. And if you're having an issue for whatever reason, as always, you guys can just call me at 951-515-4728. 951-515-4728. Okay? And let's see, I have another message here real quick. Let's see. And somebody was asking, can I consult them if they sign up with Credit Karma? And the answer to that question is, I don't mind consulting a little bit, but this is what I do for a living. So the Power Monday Mastermind that we're doing is literally what I'm doing as my quote unquote way of giving back, right? But I really don't mind people calling me. I have a big mouth. I talk a lot, so I don't mind people calling me. But to get into anything in depth, quite honestly, I charge for that, right? So it's just FYI. I charge $250 an hour, and whether it's whether you use 15 minutes of that hour or the whole hour, I charge $250 an hour for my services. And I do not and will not break away from my fee, because it's what I know I'm worth, right? Quite frankly, I'm worth a lot more than that, but that's what I'm willing to accept from my time, effort, energy, and my knowledge, quite frankly. So once again, for those who want to sign up with the Power Monday Masterminds, you need to go to POWERMONDAYSTERMIND.com. Power Mondays Mastermind. Okay, and you sign up there, and you will still be on the list. and I will send it out to you for next Monday's meeting, so you'll have all the little coding and all that. So one of the things I'm going to do, I think, for the people that sign up with the Power Mondays Mastermind is that I'm also going to give you access to some other stuff, some other videos. Now, it's okay. Look, for my business credit building program, I charge $5,000 for it, and if you make payments on it, it ends up being $6,500, almost $7,000, and we get people that are paying that. But it's also important to me to help you all if at all possible, right? I'm not going to do a bunch of work for you. I'm not going to do any work for you, quite frankly, for free. But if you have reasonable questions, I have no qualms in answering those questions. I can't just arbitrarily work with you and coach you and all that kind of stuff, because that would not be fair to the people that are paying me $5,000 for our credit, business credit building program. And even with the credit repair, I have no problem in giving you guys information, but we charge $2,000 for our credit repair and rebuilding program. And, it would not be fair, once again, to just arbitrarily hold your hand and walk you through what I walk the individuals that are paying us the $2,000 for our credit repair and rebuilding program. It would not be fair to them. But with that said, if there are, if you have questions and if I can answer them, if I can help you out in some way, I don't have any problem doing that, right? But you just have to understand, that I do have limitations. But if you just need someone to consult with, if you will, to a degree, absolutely. Give me a buzz and let me see what we can do for you. Because honestly, there's so much information out here already in the world, if you will, that all you got to do is just go out and seek it. And so in some instances, I can just even point you in the right direction, which that in and of itself can make a world of difference to you, I believe. So, that's that. Anyways, it's a little, it's a bit after, and it's 10:06. I started late, so I wanted to go a little late. Honestly, I hope that you guys are getting something out of this, even though people tend to be very, very, very shy about talking or asking questions. But hopefully you guys are getting something out of it. All right. So, anywho, that's that. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the call. If anybody has any last questions? Anyone? All right. Thank you for joining. I'm sorry?
I'm fine. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for coming on the call. And once again, I hope you guys are getting something out of this, because it makes it worthwhile me doing this if you guys are getting something out of this, number one, and number two, utilizing what I'm giving you, okay? And I'm even showing you guys for those who have logged on, have actually logged on into their computer, I've even shown how my actual Experian account, I have no qualms in showing you that, because what are you going to do? You know what I mean? You don't have my password, so you can see my little credit scores. I don't care about that. And my Equifax, same thing. What do I care? You don't have my password, but I don't really care if you see what my scores are. I'm trying to be as, upfront, if you will, as humanly possible. But anyways, take care, everybody, and thank you so very much for joining. You are truly, truly greatly appreciated. And can you return to the web? That's the same question as before. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to. Doop, 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 doop. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming on, and I'm going to actually cut and paste this into the chat real quick before I get off the phone. For those who want to sign up, it'll be cut and paste in there.
I can't sign up. I can't sign up right now, Pascal, because I'm on the phone.
No, I'm not. Yeah. Don't worry about that. But just whenever you get a chance, just go to PowerMondaysMastermind.com, and quite honestly, if you can't remember that, just remember my phone number, 951-515-4728, and I can make sure that you get where you can sign up for free at the Power Mondays Mastermind.com website, so that you will be able to join the meetings, the next Monday and so on's meeting. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you again.
Sayonara.
I really appreciate that. Yeah. See you later. Au revoir. Tout à l'heure. Sayonara.
Arrivederci.
All that. So take care, everybody. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.